Hey guys, how's it going? This one is actually going to be a little bit more in depth. I'm just going to kind of gloss over every single matchup, tell you guys how I see things possibly or what looks good to me. So we'll just get right into it. Hope everybody's enjoying their Friday, as that's the day I'm making this video. Still some things up in the air, but I think this is about where it sits so far. So Cleveland, Tennessee. Nick Chubb has over 20 carries in all three games since he's been back. Derrick Henry carried the ball 28 times and 27 times his last two games. A.J. Brown is still questionable, so it could easily turn into another Derrick Henry game if Tennessee jumps to an early lead. There are fears that Nick Chubb can maybe get game scripted out of this. Also, I believe Jonnu Smith might be questionable. However, I'm liking Derrick Henry and Jarvis Landry the most in this game. I think that kind of correlates the best. I think the Tennessee Titans might get off to a lead, and maybe Baker Mayfield and the Browns have to throw it, and Jarvis Landry looked good last week, so I think that's where I'm going to go. Next game I'm going to talk about Indianapolis and Houston. I've talked about this a while. Brandon Cooks looks amazing. Kiki Cutie with Randall Cobb on the IR and Mr. Will Fuller than steroids out. Kiki Cutie is now going to be the number 2 wide receiver, but also the tight end Atkins is definitely viable. I think Michael Pittman's probably worth a run back if you do choose to stack this game and go with Deshaun Watson and his pass catchers. The running back position for the Indianapolis Colts is kind of a clusterfuck. Probably like Naheem Hines. He seems like the most likely candidate to actually succeed, even though I wish Jonathan Taylor had more run. It's just not looking like it's going to be like that. Las Vegas versus the New York Jets. Josh Jacobs is going to miss this game, so the question really is it going to be all Devontae Booker, or is it going to be a little Jalen Richard? That's the only thing that's stopping me from loading up on Devontae Booker. He's going to be chalky, but there is a slight chance that they might divide it up more than people think they're going to divide that workload. But yeah, Las Vegas should be leading the entire game, making it more likely to hammer the run. But also something to keep in mind is Darren Waller. I know the Jets struggle against the tight end, I believe. It could be a Waller day as well. So Devontae Booker, Darren Waller are the only things that really stand out in this game. A cheap run back if you just want to punt play. Denzel Mims has been looking really good. He's getting the targets, but Sam Darnold's his quarterback and his team is full of shit, so not much there. New Orleans Saints, Atlanta Falcons. Alvin Kamara struggling with Taysom Hill, like I've said numerous times. However, I'm starting to think about actually rostering him because I feel like most of the field might think that he's a terrible play too, and there might be a small chance that they get back to how they were, even with Taysom Hill as their quarterback. Maybe he doesn't steal every single goal line touchdown, and maybe you can get Alvin Kamara going for 35 at way less ownership than he normally would be, and that's how you succeed in spots like this. Another thing to keep an eye on is the health conditions of Julio Jones and Calvin Ridley. I might think about stacking the Atlanta passing attack. New Orleans and Atlanta just got done playing two weeks ago. Atlanta looked terrible. Their offense was horrible. Maybe everybody else is just overlooking Atlanta, thinking it's just going to be the same exact matchup. But I think Matt Ryan might come out slinging and try to have a little redemption for that last matchup. Sorry, I'm reading them off paper, my notes. I'm still new to this, but nonetheless, Detroit and Chicago. David Montgomery is super underpriced for the volume that he's getting. DeAndre Swift is coming off some concussion problems, but he has been good when he's healthy. If they decide to finally unleash him, I'm certainly going there. Marvin Jones consideration. I believe Galladay's probably going to miss this game, but they do have a new coach, interim coach. They just fired Matt Patricia, so you never know what they're going to do or how they're going to approach things with a new person in charge. Also, Mitch Trubisky is starting for the Chicago Bears, and his favorite target's Allen Robinson, even more than Nick Foles likes Allen Robinson. It's almost 40% target share for Allen Robinson when Mitchell Trubisky is actually starting under center. So probably going to fade Trubisky, but Allen Robinson is super cheap for that target share and that production. So that's something that I'm looking at. Minnesota versus Jacksonville, two terrible run defenses. You can go Cook, you can go Robinson, Irv Smith, doubtful. So honestly, something to keep in mind is that tight end punt. Worked pretty well last week. It might be Kyle Rudolph time. He's cheap. He makes things work. He lets you get elsewhere. I'm probably going to be over the field on him. The Vikings have a 31.5 team total, which is the highest in the slate, so that makes them appealing. You might want to stack them depending on who you want to run back with Kirk Cousins, maybe Jefferson, Rudolph, or Thielen, Rudolph, or maybe if you're ballsy, go both receivers. It's just kind of hard when stacking that team because you almost feel like you have to leave out Cook after getting so much of the Vikings pass game. So, but also looks like a game that could be a lot of points. I'm starting to doubt Jacksonville now. I just found out that I guess I was late to the news. Mike Glennon somehow starting at quarterback for them. But yeah, only rostering James Robinson if I'm touching Jacksonville, honestly. Cincinnati and Miami. Miami is an 11.5-point favorite. No Mixon or Burrow for Cincinnati. Might just have to fade completely Cincinnati Bengals, but also maybe everybody else is fading them, and you can catch lightning in a bottle with Boyd. A bunch of short over the middle receptions, possibly. If Fitzmagic starts, Devontae Parker looks amazing. I'm not so sure about Tua Tagovailoa, especially when he's hurt. Justin Herbert, sure making it tough for Tua. But a thing to also pay attention to is Myles Gaskin might get activated from IR in time to play this game, and he might be super sneaky. I don't know what the ownership is going to be on him because it's going to be late news, so it might naturally be low. But gotta like Myles Gaskin in a game script where Miami should be pounding Cincinnati without Joe Burrow or much offense. Then we got the Giants and Seahawks. Seahawks 10-point favorite. Russell Wilson stacks could be nice. Maybe I'd be ballsy enough to run that Wilson stack back with Wayne Gallman. I know they're going to be losing probably, and that's a terrible game script for a running back, but who else do the Giants really have? They're probably going to be without their quarterback. Gallman's getting the workload. Gallman's averaged over 15 points last 5 weeks, 6 touchdowns in the last 5 games. I'm just gonna roll the dice on him again. Apparently a game that's super chalky is the Rams versus Arizona Cardinals, and it's specifically chalky on the Rams pass side. Not really seeing it. I mean, I guess Jared Goff and Cooper Kupp or Robert Woods can go off. Arizona's super attractive, but they're also super pricey, so I'm just not probably going to get there. I will get to Kenyon Drake, though. I think that he might play pretty damn well in this matchup. And also thing to consider is Cam Akers was their second round draft pick for the Rams. I drafted him way too high in my season longs. It's always been like teased by Sean McVay that he wants to get him more work, but he never does. He's the most explosive running back they have. He's the fastest running back they have. If any time to ease him in, you would assume it might be this one. Finally just dropped him last 2 weeks ago, so it sucks for me, but that's how I'm thinking about that. We got the Eagles versus the Packers. What more do you want to say? The Packers are probably going to spank the Eagles. Third top stack. Aaron Jones looks good because Philly's poor against the run. However, if you're stacking the Green Bay quarterback and pass catchers of Devontae Adams, maybe Alan Lazard or MVS, even Tonian for that matter, he's been on a touchdown tear lately, but yeah, not a game that I'm getting way too crazy on, but if you are, you're probably going to go Green Bay, obviously. And to close this one off, an interesting game that I've already touched on a little bit in previous videos is the Patriots versus the Chargers. Cam's struggling, obviously, but he is always a goal line threat once they get close to the goal line, he's pretty much their fullback. Everybody knows it's probably going to him, and most of the time they can't stop it. Other than that, New England lacks obvious stacking options. Just a lackluster offense in general, really. The Chargers are nice, but it's kind of a tough price, and some of them are a tough spot, and some of them are priced up. However, like I said in other videos, Austin Eckler, 30 opportunities to touch the ball with 14 carries and 16 targets last week. Has been incredible with Herbert. Yeah, that's some place that you're probably going to have to go. Like I said in a different video, I can see this game with the Chargers being up or down just enough to keep everything important, to keep it going aggressively, to run the entire game out every minute of every second of every minute. Stay aggressive like they have been all year pretty much, and probably find a way to lose at the end, but you know you're going to get your money's worth fantasy wise. So that's just kind of how I'm seeing things for this Friday evening. I thought I would just give a quick overview of everything, and yeah, appreciate you guys tuning in. Hit that like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.